Hey, all right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rachakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to you, sincere Hakim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. And I just wanted to jump in and touch on something because, the time is coming where, we're already seeing ID 2020, everything's in the wind about the same things that's being done in China with the social credit score to be done here in the U.S. So it's important for, brothers to leave everything on the table as far as the things that the Lord has blessed you to understand, so your brothers around you, they can have that same information. We could all be on the same accord, the same page, and part of that, of course, is watching our brothers' videos, supporting the brotherhood, supporting the ministry, with brothers doing different things in the ministry. But real quick, because the truth on this man is coming out. One thing about Vocab Malone and the different apologists, because he's kind of put himself in the lane to become like a main enemy, basically, to the truth. When it talks about how your enemy is going to, the enemy of the Israelites is going to be up high, they're going to be very low. When it talks about, Babylon, which is the great whore, she sitteth on many waters, meaning that, there are many nations inside of her. When it talks about all these different things where you have to kind of put the modern day answer to what the scriptures pertain to. If you notice, he never gives an answer to, what exactly it's talking about. All right. So, when the time comes where this man comes down and they crack down on us and he, because his videos are up. So people are going to go to him the answers when Esau comes at us full speed and full blast, just like we kind of saw at the beginning of 2019 when with the whole Chief Ephraim situation, and then, random Israelites started popping up and talking on camera, saying all kind of off the wall shit. And that's pretty much, that's what's going to happen again. And a lot of people who know that they're Israelites, they're going to basically put their foot in their mouth, right? And Vocab is going to be able to confound them. But us, the brothers of Great Millstone, we study to show ourselves approved so that doesn't happen. All right, and those brothers in Houston, they held it down. The brothers in Dallas, they held it down. All right, and the elders and apostles up in New York, of course, they held it down. All right, and this is when we go into these facts and all of this information and all these videos, all of these facts, the things that we're presenting, all of these things are things that Esau is actually releasing, for us to be able to understand, putting it out in the wind. All right, and none of this stuff that we're going into, like these little articles on finance and all the different wicked shit that Esau did with his business, with his gold, with his finance, with his slaves, they don't mention that. All right, in this particular article, it says, the Fed's report, among other things, showed that the poorest 50% of Americans are literally getting crushed by the weight of rising inequalities. And the scriptures mention that, the clay, the thick clay, because everybody here is in debt. Because when you talk about the Bible, you look at the Bible, you look at the collection of books which is supposed to be written for our learning. It's supposed to be applicable to your everyday walk. It's supposed to be applicable to you, when you're out in the streets, you're out on the highways and byways, you're out at work, for everything. All right, I believe that's Psalms 25. It talks about the secret. Matter of fact, let me get that. It says, it's Psalms 25 and 14. It says, the secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. So he's going to show the secrets to the people who fear him. And how do you show your fear? You show your fear by following his words and figuring everything out and trying to find it to an exact T, being a good and faithful servant. And one of the things that Vocab preaches is that the law is done away with. And if the law is done away with, that means what? You could do it, basically, you could do what you want. You can wing it. Do what thou will. And jumping back to this, because this is every day, man. This isn't, brothers ain't just making up information, because, a lot of Israelites, a lot of people who say that they're Israelites, when they see that kind of stuff, it can shake their faith. A young brother in the faith, it can shake them up. But this stuff that's going on, this is clear. This place is clearly fraudulent. It says, in 2018, the richest 10% held 70% of total household wealth, up from 60% in 1989. So that wealth has jumped 10% all the way from 1989. The rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. The share funnel to the top 1% jumped to 32% last year, from 23% in 89. So that's up too. The increase in the wealth share of the top 10% came at the expense of the households in the 50th to 90th percentiles of the wealth distribution. Their share dropped to 29%. So basically, the people at the top, the money is going up, because one of the things that we notice is people, these wealthy elites, these Edomites, not only are they trying to destroy the family unit, trying to dumb down, kids as far as the education, and dumb down the youth, which that's a process that's going on too. But the food has become more toxic. The pay, still isn't that great, with all these Edomites who are making, multi-million dollars and all of this stuff. Jeff Bezos and all of these people, the world's richest men. So we can clearly see that the world's resources are in the hand of this man. And that's ultimately what it means to be blessed, to have those resources, to have that power. That's how we know who has the blessing. That's how we know another way that we confirm who Esau is. And vocab's not talking about that, because the scriptures talk about what? When the Lord returns, who is that with dyed garments from Basra, which Basra is a city in Idumea. And it's talking about the Lord when he comes back. And there's many scriptures on how the Lord is going to destroy Esau when he comes back. All right, this stuff isn't just by accident. The Lord didn't just accidentally, because the scriptures say what? Man's goings and comings of the Lord. So how is it that this man has so many resources if he's not blessed? You would have to be. You'd have to be. If the Lord allow you to have such a great resources, such vast riches, all of this other stuff, that means that you're blessed. And then from there, what? You evaluate who has that blessing. And these Edomites, they're telling on themselves because they're divided. They're divided in this kingdom. And this next election, if we even get that far, is going to be even more divided. Because you're going to have the Trump, the Trump party, you're going to have the Republican party, then you're going to have the Democrats. But then now the Democrats are splitting up too. But then now you got Jake. Jake wants representation too. So, this place is all cracked up. It said, this is a CNN article. This shit is actually making CNN, because they used to say what? There are no white supremacists. There's no system of Edomite supremacy. Even though what? The big thing in the news now is how Trump held back, I think he held back a certain millions of dollars from Salakia. He held back military aid from Ukraine. It says, oh wow, President Trump told his acting chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, to hold back almost $400 million in military aid, because what? He wanted to know what Joe Biden and his son were doing in Ukraine. And that goes into a whole nother story. Salaki, excuse me. So they held back $400 million in military aid, and Ukraine is all fucked up now from Russia because the president, is trying to destroy competition before they even get to the next election. So that just goes to show you how dirty this man is. And these people are clearly dirty, but they're at the top. They have all the power. And what did they do? They use fraud. They're using debt. Right? That's a new hustle for these Edomites to have these labor collection, collection agencies, collection services, and then they'll call you, if you owe money, and everybody, basically owes money, whether it be from, college or you went to college, you went to try to get a trade or whatever it might be. You had to get a house, you had to get a car. Everybody's in debt. Everybody's in debt to this man. And you know what? I'm going to split it up. I'm going to do that next one on the next side. You know what? No, we can go ahead and jump into it because it's quick. Because even Esau and his woman, now they're divided too. It says she went from a liberal non-voter burning books with white supremacists. Here's why she finally left the movement, which is the Edomite woman. And it talks about how she had entered into the inner circle of a modern white power movement called the alt-right, and it was the moment its activists see in retrospect as the peak of its power. The home was blah, 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 and they're talking about it. It says, they stood around a fire and cheered as books were tossed into the flames. Some gave Nazi salutes. Samantha did too. Yes, she followed after. She followed suit. She followed after her nation. Now this is a lot of Edomites, they pledged themselves to this, especially, where I'm at in the Midwest. A lot of these Edomites, they pledged themselves to stay on top. And this is just how it has been throughout the course of history. This man, when it comes to racism, these Edomites are the most racist on the planet. They're for their race above all. But then, once, their race, once they get it, then, they have the infighting amongst each other. And what did the Lord say? A house that's divided cannot stand. And I'm not going to read it, but, basically she followed after the typical Edomite supremacists, and they told her. It says, when she finally Googled them, she discovered they were based on an elaborate, violent white supremacist fantasy called the Day of the Rope, in which people of color, Jews, gays, and the race traders who helped them are murdered. So this is the real shit that this is the real shit that these Edomites have for us when they come down. All right, and I believe it's the Elder Malcolm. He was going into how a lot of these farmers are also linked to white supremacist groups, white militia groups, and they're waiting on that day where things break down, where they can take advantage and they can start bringing hell and destroying Jake. And look at that, the day of the rope, there is no escaping. The day of the rope is soon. What does the scripture say? Cursed is he that hangs from a tree. Don't expect any mercy on the day of the rope. And there's that Pepe the Frog, which that's an Edomite supremacist little meme too. Then you got other Edomite supremacy, literate books. Excuse me. The Camp of the Saints, Whiteness, the Original Sin. Yeah. So these Edomites, they're they're building up. They're waiting for that day. They're waiting for that opportunity. So this place, America, man, it's got some hard days coming to it. All right. And people like Vocab, they're stuck on, we're not your enemy. Well, either he's lying or he just doesn't know. And he's not, hey, if you look around on the internet long enough, you'll come across some of this shit. And if you go into it, you dig into it, you'll see. Hey, but that's all I had, just a quick one, focusing in, seeing who our enemy is, seeing what our mission is. Hey, may the Lord continue to grow and build up Sincere Brothers Foundation. Shalom.